Hello dear students, and today we are going to continue our topic about alternating current. This is our second lecture about this, and today we will talk about conductors and insulators. First of all, guys, I'd like you to answer the questions that I prepared for you. First of all, convert 30 degree to water freezes at, water boils at, specific heat energy formula, latent heat formula, and how many temperature scale exist. I hope that you know answers for all these questions. Also, guys, I prepared for you some new keywords for today's lesson. They are electrons, conductors, insulators, and charge. And I believe that you know the definitions of these all words. By the end of this lesson, you'll be able to distinguish electrical current is produced by the flow of electrons and compare atomic properties of conductors and insulators. So guys, what is electricity? Electricity is the flow of negative charge. Exactly here you can see the nature electricity and negative charges. Also, we have two kinds of charges. After being rubbed, a plastic ruler can attract paper scraps. Also, you can see the example of this on my screen. Ruler carries an electric charge. Where do we charge come from? Exactly, an atom is a fundamental unit of matter made up of protons with a positive charge and neutrons, neutral no charge, electrons with a negative charge. What exactly electricity is? This is exactly everything is made of atoms, which contain positive particles called protons and negative particles called electrons. And this is the example of this. This is our proton, positive. This is our electron, negative, and this is our neutron in the center. It is neutral. Let's talk about electrical charge exactly. Electric charge is given by symbol this one, Q. Electrons are the charge carriers that flow in an electrical circuit from the negative to positive terminals. Charge is measured in coulombs, which is given the symbol C, this one. The charge on a proton is this one. You can see how we can measure it. Also, which is the same size as the charge on an electron. What is electricity? Electrons have a negative charge Q measured in coulombs C. Electrons move round the circuit from negative to positive. Remember, like charges repel, opposites attract, giving rise to an electric current. Where do charge come from? When a balloon rubs a piece of wool, the balloon minus charged, the wool positive charged. Exactly like this. Law of electric charges. The law of electric charges states that like charges repel and opposite charges attract, like in this example. In the world, the static electricity can be opposite charged and object with a charge repel, like this. Guys, what exactly what is a conductor? Name some conductors and insulators. What is insulator? Can you explain this now? And what makes them effective conductors and insulators? I hope that all these images will help you to answer my questions. Conductors and insulators. An electrical conductor is a metal in which charge can move easily. Most metals are good conductors because some of their electrons are free to move. Conductors are used to make wires. For example, a lamp cord has metal wire and metal prongs. copper, aluminium, and mercury are good conductors. Conductors are materials having a low resistance, so that current easily passes through them. The lower of resistance of the material, the more current can pass through it. The most common conductors are metals. Silver and copper are the best of them. The advantage of copper is that it is much cheaper than silver. Thus, copper is widely used to produce wire conductors. One of the common functions of wire conductors is to connect a voltage source to a load resistance. Since copper wire conductors have a very low resistance and minimum voltage drop is produced in them. Thus, all the applied voltage can produce current in the load resistance. It should be taken into consideration that most materials change the value of resistance when the temperature changes. Metals increases their resistance when the temperature increases, while carbon decreases its resistance when the temperature increases. Thus, metals have a positive temperature coefficient of resistance, while carbon has a negative temperature coefficient. The smaller is the temperature coefficient, or the less the change of resistance with the change of temperature, the more perfect is the resistance material. Materials having a very high resistance are called insulators. Current passes through insulators with great difficulty. The most common insulators are air, paper, rubber, plastic. Any insulator can conduct current when a high enough voltage is applied to it. Currents of great value must be applied to insulators in order to make them conduct. The higher the resistance of an insulator, the greater applied voltage must be. When an insulator is connected to a voltage source, it stores electric charge and a potential is produced of the insulator. Thus, insulators have two main functions: to isolate conducting wire and thus to prevent a short between them, and one more, to store electric charge when a voltage source is applied. Guys, exactly after this lesson we will have our continue about conductors and insulators, and also I will hope that you will listen all my new lectures. For today that's all. Please do all the tasks that I attach after this lecture, and see you soon. Goodbye.